Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. My name is Zach Pescarello, and I'm here to share a little QuickBooks tip, a little QuickBooks tutorial. I am a certified QuickBooks Pro advisor, and I own my own bookkeeping business, Harrisburg Bookkeeping. So if anybody needs any help with your QuickBooks, with your accounting, with your taxes, feel free to reach out. We would love to work with you. So just want to jump right into it. I appreciate you all watching my tutorials. If you guys want me to do anything specifically, if you guys are having any issues specifically, please feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to make a video explaining whatever your issue is, or we can hop on a Zoom call, share screens, and I can walk you through whatever problems you might be having. Hopefully save you some time, make your life a little bit easier. With that being said, just jump right into it. So, QuickBooks has a pretty cool feature. It's called a bank feed. And you can basically connect your bank directly to your QuickBooks account, kind of how you log into an application on your phone. You just enter in your username and your password, and you can see all of your bank information on your phone. QuickBooks has a similar setup. All you do is go to the bank feed section, and you can upload your transactions directly from your bank. Makes bookkeeping a lot easier, and it'll help you save a lot of time with manual data entry. With that being said, not every bank is supported through QuickBooks Bank Feed. If you have a smaller credit union or just a smaller bank, might not be able to connect the bank feed directly. Or if you have just a different account, it might not be specifically a checking account or a savings account, but you still have some transactions. Or maybe you have a bunch of cash transactions and you want to just upload them more easily, quickly, without all that manual entry into QuickBooks. So they have an option to import your bank data. You could do two things. You can go to your bank's website, and most banks that I've seen support QuickBooks. So you can actually download a list of your transactions in a .qbo file. So all you have to do is download those transactions in a .qbo, which is QuickBooks Online, .qbo file, and then go to the bank feed. I'll show you how to do that in a second, and then just import that file directly. But if you don't have that option, if you can't download the transactions from your online checking account, you can do a last resort and you can manually enter your transactions into an Excel worksheet. So I'll show you what that looks like right now. So all you have to do, the first cell will be date, the second cell will be the description, and then either a withdrawal or a deposit. So for example, we will say 5/23/21 is the date. The description, we'll say Home Depot, and the withdrawal, we'll say $100. And then the next day, we'll say 5. This is just a very general example. The description, we'll say John Smith, check number 123, withdrawal for $200. And then finally, 5/25, we will say Jane Doe, cash deposit, and we'll say that was for $350. Little tip for all of you Excel nerds out there: if you highlight all of your cells, then if you hit Alt H and then O and then I, it automatically makes the selected cells the correct width. I love that little short key. So instead of going through every single column and double clicking and making it the correct, all you do is Control A, Alt H, O, I. It's amazing. I use it daily. Makes your Excel look a little neater. Okay, so we got those 3 transactions right there in Excel. Now this is important. When you go to save it, File, Save As, Whenever you save it, you have to save it as a .csv, file. Okay. So save the file as a .csv, name it whatever you want, something that makes sense to you. Now that you have this saved, now you go to your QuickBooks account, and in your banking section right here on the left hand side, go to banking. It might say transactions for you. Sometimes it's different for the accountant version and the business version. Okay, so in your banking section here on the left hand side, banking, you will want to upload transactions. So if you already have a checking account or a savings account connected to your bank feed, it'll show up here. If you don't have anything uploaded, just go to upload transactions and it'll bring you to this screen. Bring your info into QuickBooks. So you can either, the best option would be to connect your checking account directly to QuickBooks by using your username and password. But like I said, if you can't do that, if you don't have support for your checking account or your credit union, you can select a file to upload here. So hit browse, find that file. I don't think you guys can see this, but that's fine. Just find the file wherever it is. Make sure it's a .csv. You can see here, .csv, QFX, QBO, OFX, or TXT format only. If it's a .qbo file, you're not going to be able to open it unless you open it through QuickBooks. So you're not going to know what it looks like. But if it's a .csv file, it needs to look like this. Date, description, withdrawal, and deposit. It needs to have those columns just like that. So browse for the file, select the file, hit next. Now, this is important. So you imported your .csv Excel file. Now you need to tell QuickBooks where to put it. So you're going to drop down arrow, add a new account. More than likely, it's either going to be a credit card or a bank. So this is what I said before. If you have cash, if you have a bunch of cash transactions and you want to like open up a cash account inside your QuickBooks, 90% of the bank accounts I see are checking accounts. So it's probably going to be some type of checking account. But if it's not a checking account, it might be a savings account, it might be cash. But let's just say checking account. The thing that I always recommend doing is take the name of the bank. So we will do Wells Fargo and do the last 4 digits of your account number. Wells Fargo 9528. That way it's clearly identifiable. You know exactly what checking account you're talking about. Wells Fargo 9528. So the bank is here, and then the type of account is here, checking account, and then the name of the account there. Don't worry about this description. Don't worry about this sub account. It's probably not going to be like that. Probably not going to have to worry about those 2 options. Just these 3: bank, checking account, and then name the account, something that makes sense to you, something that is easily understandable. Now save and close. Next. Now this is the last part. Very important. So check this box. First row in file is a header row. So if you go back to, I'm not going to go back to it, but if you remember the Excel file, that first row had date, description, withdrawal, and deposit. So that first row in the file is a header row. So check that box. If you don't have that header row, that's fine. Just uncheck the box. If you don't have that header row, then QuickBooks will take that first row and treat it like a transaction. If you do have that header row, QuickBooks will ignore that first row and assume that it is just the labels for the rows. So now this is important. Look here, date, description, amount. Make sure these match up. So on the left-hand side here, you see date. So you want to make sure that first column is the date. And then you want to make sure the format matches exactly. So if you have the month first, it'll be one of these 3. If you have the day first, it'll be one of these 3. But the date has to be in this format. So 2-digit month, 2-digit day, 4-digit year. It can't be like 26-MAY-21. It can't have any letters in it. It's got to be in this format. And then second column is the description. And then this is pretty important here, the amount. So you're going to check this box if it's either 2 columns or one column. If it's one column, it'll have positive and negative numbers. If it's two columns, then you will say whether it's money spent or money received. Money spent is a withdrawal. Money received is a deposit. Two columns, withdrawal and deposit. Now go next. Now you should see all the transactions that you had in that .csv Excel worksheet right here. If you want to exclude any of them for whatever reason, you can uncheck the box there. We're going to include all of them. Go ahead and hit next. QuickBooks will automatically download those 3 transactions. Now you have a bank feed. Now you have these 3 transactions. Now it's a lot easier to enter this data now that it's in your bank feed. So description, Home Depot, QuickBooks automatically recognizes that's probably job supplies. Feel free to change that however fits your business and your chart of accounts. If you guys need help specializing your chart of accounts or updating your chart of accounts, we can absolutely help you with that. Reach out to us and we will work with you on setting up your chart of accounts, especially if you're new to QuickBooks. So that first one was job supplies. The second one will say it was contractors. John Smith, check 1, 2, 3. And then we received $350. QuickBooks automatically recognizes that as sales. It might not be sales. You might want to categorize your income as something else. That's fine. But pretty easy way to show how to import your bank transactions. So it went straight to your banking detail. Now, if you go to your chart of accounts, it'll show up right on your chart of accounts, Wells Fargo. You can view your register. You can see all the information here in your chart of accounts, job supplies, expenses there, and a deposit there. $50 is the balance because we received $350 and we spent $300. And then lastly, under your reports, I always like to, just double check your chart of accounts, double check your profit and loss. Just make sure the information you just entered is in fact accurate. So you run the report this week, and you can see there you had $350 of sales, $200 in expense to contractors, and $100 in expense to job supplies. That's a very easy way to enter a lot of data at one time. If you don't do that, you're going to have to hit the plus new button. You're going to have to enter in an expense. You're going to have to say, who did you pay? From what account did you pay? The date, the payment method. You're going to have to fill in all this information for every single transaction. So there's a really easy way to upload all your transactions. I hope that was helpful. Real quick video. If you guys want any help with your QuickBooks, feel free to reach out. I would be happy to work with you. If you want me to make a special video, let me know. Send me a message, give me a call, send me an email. I hope these videos are helpful, and I will talk to you all guys in the next one.